y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Unfortunately, wonderful October has come to a rather warm end. It is currently like 70 degrees outside. But what can I say? That is Virginia weather for you. I feel like this month has been all kinds of like crisscross and crazy with everything coming here from Tennessee and just all sorts of stuff going on. This is also probably going to be like my most differently filmed monthly favorites because we have 2 sponsored products. Now, putting it up front, I am being paid to talk about these products. The video is not sponsored, just the particular products that they asked me to talk about. And if you've been following me on the Snapchats, you probably would have already seen me kind of like, kind of talking about them as I've been using them and getting used to them. And we also have an inclusion of something that a company sent me that I wanted to talk about, but I will leave both of those things for the end. I will leave times and everything down like that in a comment. If you're not interested in me talking about things that it's all organic, but you know what I mean. You know how people get with like the sponsor and the whatever. Even with all that, my opinions are completely and 110%, excuse me, burp squad. The opinions I speak upon are my own, and I don't ever want to recommend you guys something just for giggles because because I know a lot of y'all put a lot of faith in what I say about products, so I don't want to just be like, throwing my opinion out willy-nilly. But we will start off with, I did remember, we're going to start off with 2 songs that I have been listening to this month. The first of which being, we are bringing Poets of the Fall back into the mix. Their song, Days, which it's funny because that was, I think, the second song. My brother Luke got me into this band. He was like, look at this. This is great. This is definitely one of your aesthetics, which it is. And it's one of those songs that when I first heard it, I was like, nah, not my thing. And then it was one that I was like kind of going back to. It's hard to explain. I just like the band on a whole. The dude in this song, the main singer, he has a fantastic falsetto. I love the aesthetic of the music video, obviously leaving it linked down below. And then the other song, which is probably more seasonally appropriate, is from Motionless in White. So we're going from kind of like, 90s rock to like, woo! And it is the song Another Life. Let me tell you, when I first heard this song, I was like, it's a good thing 29-year-old Soraya is hearing this and not 17-year-old Soraya, because I would have wallowed in this song like nobody's business. I love it. It's very, very, 2007 me. And it's actually been very inspiring for my writing because it's very emotional, it's very angsty, it's very emo, it's very goth, it's all those things that I, enjoyed growing up and still enjoy. Give those a check down below if you would like to. And now let's move into just the products that I have been loving. There's a lot of love. There's some kind of like middle ground going on, but I feel like I've been trying to buy less, and so like sometimes, when you're thinking, you're like, oh, well, I need to talk about new products every month. Sometimes you're like, oh, I have a lot less product. But one thing, y'all would have seen my review. We'll leave reviews down below. The Manny MUA Lunar Beauty Moonspell Palette. Even if this palette had been like total garbage, I'd been like, well, I paid $48 for a really nice piece of decoration. So obviously it has that going for it. It's just, come on. But I have been reaching for this palette a lot. It's so funny when you get a product and you're like, because we never buy a product thinking, oh, I'm gonna hate it. But you don't necessarily anticipate how much you're gonna love it. And I've just been using the crap out of this thing. I absolutely love my favorite row. Actually, I love the purples. Don't get me wrong. These 2 purples are banging. But I've been loving this row and this row together. I mean, the purples or whatever, but even if you were to take out the purples, I would love that palette. They're just so nice. You know, I love the shimmers. They're very smooth. You know, you don't get a lot of chunky falloutiness. I've worn this one all by itself. It's like a shimmer shade, satin, whatever, but you can just wear it all over. It doesn't crease. I've done the same with this one. And it's just such a nice palette. Like I said in that video where in my review, I was like, he's really underrated. I mean, he's just like sitting over there, releasing his products, doing his thing. You know, I haven't seen Manny MUA in a lot of drama recently, and his brand hasn't had drama. So like, you know, give it a try. I absolutely love this. I absolutely adore. I mean, I just this row, yes. Then another palette that I reviewed, which is y'all probably saw this one coming. Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina palette. But this is the third volume of the installment of the Big Giantness, and it just basically has everything that I absolutely love in a palette. You got green, you got red, you got orange, you got purple. I mean, yeah, this is just, I love it. I'm very, very fond of the formula. I think that the shade selection, the matte to shimmer ratio, I actually really love this B1 shade, which is like this kind of like, it's kind of like the like, just kind of random shade, I feel, in the shade selection. It's just this beautiful, like light, ethereal blue. Kind of goes matchy. I just love this. I honestly love all three. 9 times out of 10, when I'm getting all like creative and my juices and all that whateverness is going, I got all three laid in front of me and I'm like Picasso going all up and around. I just love these. They're so much fun as like just, I mean, I see the colors and from any of them, but this is the one I've been loving the most recently. All the colors and everything, and I just get so artistically excited. I'm just like, yes, I'm gonna create the most bomb, diggity, colorful look that I've ever done. I'm going to transform myself into an ethereal makeup monster. So we got a good feeling. I love this one. This B2. That is a green I can get behind. I just feel like this one is probably the best curated one. It's the one that makes the most sense, and it's probably the most user-friendly, though it's funny. They released the first one, which I'm like, yes. And then they released the second and the third one. This one is my first favorite, and the second one is my second favorite. The first one is nice, but compared to these two, color story-wise, it's just kind of like, Okay, let's get something that unfortunately didn't work for me, which is sad because it's something I was enjoying while I was using. This is the ColourPop 4th-Ray Good Mood Gel Moisturizer. Now, I will say one thing, and my mom can, she can vouch for me. It's like a gel moisturizer, and you get like a nice scent first, and then it smells like fish. Like raw, cold, dead, laying on the ice fish. But I like this. It was a lighter gel, but you know, it felt really good on the skin. Didn't make you feel grimy or tacky or nasty. But this, kind of like that amazing, wonderful e.l.f. Dewy Spray, it gave me little white dots, which y'all know when it comes to skincare, any product, that's a no. And when I try new skincare at max, I try 2 new things at once, but typically I try to just like use one new thing at a time, because so that I can know when something happens, I'm like, it's this, and it was this. It makes me sad. Probably gonna give it to my sister-in-law or my mom to be like, hey, because with skincare, I don't want it to go to waste. And if I can't use it, you know, so yeah. Was really nice. If you like a lighter moisturizer that, like I said, really nice on the skin. I was enjoying the hydration it gave me. Made my skin feel very nice and plump, but it just, white dots, no, didn't work. Then a product that's sort of a situational meh. I know that doesn't sound like it makes much sense, but I sometimes don't make much sense. Carli Bybel Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. I didn't do a review of this so much as I did kind of like a discussion. If you haven't seen that, I will leave it down below. So, y'all are probably gonna be like, well, why are you talking bad about it? You bought it, you know what you were getting into. I did. I have a problem. I haven't broken myself of collecting the Anastasia palettes. And I wanted to review it, although that ended up not necessarily happening, and quite a lot of you were interested in it. I will say, This Bear shade right here, I know for the longest time on my channel, I hate little soft ecru eggshell taupe setting shades. But out of any of those boring setting shades that I've ever used, this one is the best. I put it on, lay it all over my eyelid, and then my eyeshadow blends like a dream. So I have gotten a lot of use out of this shade. This shade is nice. This shade is nice, though basically in the modern renaissance, and this one, and that one, and that one. Basically, the more unique shades in this shadow, in this palette, are going to be the shimmers. Unfortunately, upon using this more, the shimmers have a very definite chunk factor. Like if you're used to the shimmers in the modern renaissance or the soft glam, this not the same thing. These three, especially QA, My Angels, and Aura, those are the chunkiest. Oh my goodness. You get it and you mess with it and then it just kind of falls onto your face. Libra, Jode, Moo, and Boli. Those are fine. Those are smoothie smooth. Mandala is really pretty, but it's kind of like an effervescent fairy fart top coater, which y'all know how I feel about those. I mean, I feel like I may be a little bit less like begrudging to it if it had been released in spring of 2020 rather than winter of 2019. I mean, it just doesn't look like a winter palette. We've all speculated on why Anastasia is shilling and pushing. Norvina was apparently like, well, people get more bored in the market. And I'm like, who? Who is she? What kind of people is she taking to get this poll, this information? Because I know it ain't any of y'all watching my videos because we know that saturation, that anti-haul, all that jazz. You know, it's okay. Definitely not a palette I say you need. As an Anastasia collector, no. As someone who has too much makeup, no. You know, it just isn't amazing. Okay, then let's talk about the sponsored products. Yay! I did ask you all, I don't know if I asked you all, but I definitely kept you up to date on Snapchat where I was like, ooh, I got this, basically, I could apply for it. You know, they were like, hey, you know, make money doing your whatevers. And I could apply for it and I got accepted and it was skincare because y'all know that I love me my skincare. If you look, it's so funny. If you like look back at the early days of my channel, I'm like, I don't need skincare. I have great skin. And then as I got older and as reality has begun to set in, I'm like, skincare, protect your canvas. So these are the Meebac Cica Serum and the Cica Cream Age Repair Moisturizer and Brightening Age Repair Serum. Cica is this is a cruelty-free Korean brand. Y'all know I've also been loving that Korean skincare kick. And this is something that's supposed to it works with redness. It's supposed to help retain your moisture barrier. And it's supposed to be good for, you know, that mid and aging skin. I will say right off the bat, the serum has done absolutely nothing for me. I've been using the ColourPop Hyaluronic, the Rainfall Serum. I've tried the Ole Henriksen Vitamin C Brightening Serum. And those all did something to improve my skincare routine. This just did nothing. It's definitely perfumey, which is funny because reading reviews of this, a lot of people with sensitive skin were like, yes, I love it. It's amazing. I'm like, that's great. But I know a couple of you all you're sensitive to smells. And when things have the perfumey fragrancy, that can be bad for sensitive skin. But I mean, I just put it on and I was just putting on a scented lotion onto my face that did nothing to make my face smoother, nicer, less dry, less aged, you know, less red. This was a total flop for me. This, on the other hand, I love. And for the price point, I can highly recommend this. I've been using this a lot. I actually love using it. This is my favorite because usually at night, I tend to use a heavier, thicker, more more intense hydration cream. And then I will use a lighter one like the Ole Henriksen Vitamin C Brightening Gel Whateverness Moisturizer. But I've been reaching for this one. Oh my goodness, it's so nice. It's so nice. I'm not sure what the consistency is. Like, it's not like anything like, say, the the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. It's much more like, I don't even know. Like, it's not a gel. I guess just cream. It's like middle. It's not like light like a gel, but it's not, I don't know. But what it does, it is so nice on the skin. Like, as you're applying it, it just feels smooth and beautiful, and my face feels plump and radiant. It doesn't leave any tackiness. It doesn't, like, it just works really nice on my skin. I've noticed that it has helped reduce the redness around here. I get a little bit here where I've got like texture patches, and it's done just really well to really help. I mean, I feel like with the serum, it did nothing. I noticed like nothing. But with this, as I've been using it, I've noticed that like even on like my days where I have like no makeup on, you know, I'll apply this because I apply moisturizer all the time because my face is the Sahara Desert, it just like smooths everything and makes my skin just look so healthy and nice. And I was like, you know, when you get product, you're like, you're not sure what's gonna happen with it, but I was really surprised with how much I really liked this moisturizer, especially when you compare it to something that's like more expensive. So the serum, no, pass on it. If any of y'all love it or someone you know who loves it, that's fantastic. Didn't work for me. This, on the other hand, I absolutely love. Okay, and then once again, if you are familiar with the Snapchat, whatever, go join me there and watch my sad, depressing life. If there is anything that I like more that I don't need any more of besides makeup, it is clothing and purses. The company Teddy Blake actually contacted me, and they wanted me to receive one of their bags and, you know, do an inclusion in a video. They said I didn't have to do a full video. I could do it just kind of as an add-on. Now, what their whole shtick is that they make handbags that are done with like the quality of, say, like, I mean, they're comparing themselves to like Louis Vuitton, Prada, probably Michael Kors in that mix if we're gonna go a little lower on the price point. Basically making high-end designer quality bags that don't have the higher price point of a designer bag because you're buying Louis Vuitton, you're buying Chanel. So these are made in Italy with fancy leather. They're probably gonna watch this and be like, why did we send this to her? I sometimes don't use words the best, but it's nice and roomy. I don't have my crap in it. If y'all wanna see like what's the bottomless pit of what's in my handbag, by all means, let me know down below. I'd love to film that. This particular one is the Bella Palmelatto. I'm very much not Italian, so I'm sorry if I butchered that. You can carry it like this, which is how I would mostly do it. It does have a very nice strap going on here. Now, if, you know, something that y'all may not know about me, because I don't think I went into this in my channel at all. I used to be a designer snob. I need it to be designer, basically. So I have a Chanel bag, I have Michael Kors, I had a Louis Vuitton one, but I'm pretty sure I sold that one. But in taking in comparison to those to this, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's basically the same quality, and I'm not gonna lie about like high-end fashion consumerism typically. Because a large part of when you do buy a designer brand, you're buying the name. Yes, a lot of them do have that like nice construction and fancy materials, but one thing that this brand does, and it actually has it on the site, which I'll leave down below, it actually shows you the breakdown compared to one brand, like the price breakdown, how much materials cost, how much Burp Squad, how much like the craftsman, you know, the workmanship, no, how much the labor costs. That's it. So you've got the materials, labor, everything like that. And these are, I'm not gonna lie, these are expensive. I was like, oh look, free bag. But these are like, if you buy, like for example, if you do buy like Michael Kors, I know that Kate Spade, Coach, if you purchase or have, and I understand that a lot of people, because I like bags of any and all kind. My kind is kind of like kitschy and whatever now rather than, you know, designer. But if you're like, you know, used to paying that kind of prices, that's what this price is going on. You can join the site and sign up and get 35% off. I also have a cute little code, which I'll leave right here, that'll get you $20 off. It's not a code. No, not a code. No, it is a code. It's not a link, but it'll get you $20 off. It is not an affiliate code, ow, or anything like that. It's just, you know, $20 off because they're expensive. But like I said, if you're someone who's looking to invest in a bag, this one has been really nice. I mean, it holds a crap ton of stuff. They've got a whole bunch of styles. And as someone, I feel like, see, this is where it's like a little bit, I don't want to say dicey, but where it's kind of like, I want to be honest with you guys, and I don't want to be someone who's all like, yes, of course, everyone can totally go out and buy a super expensive handbag. Because not everyone can. That's just not the realistic economy that we live in. So I always do the caveat of like, you know, it's not necessarily for everyone, kind of with when I do my wig reviews, when I had those wigs that were more expensive wigs. But if it's something that you're looking to invest in and something that you want to have for a long period of time, then yes, this is a great viable option for you. But if you're someone who just wants, you know, a knock around casual whatever bag or something, you know, like a wig that you just want to wear for a costume party or on a whim, you know, then this might not be the best option. I'm just coming from myself and my own experience and what I think about the product in and of itself, which I think it is absolutely beautiful. I know this is something, I've used it multiple times. I actually really want to wear it with this top. I'm actually hopefully planning on saving up because they have one that's like this, but it's like light baby pink, and I kind of want that because like I said, I have had this, I will say this kind of bag for this price point is better than a Michael Kors. It is on par with Kate Spade. It's on par with the Louis Vuitton that I had, because in all honesty, unless you're getting like runway Louis Vuitton, I feel like some of their products aren't necessarily the best. But that's just me. I may know absolutely nothing, and I'm sorry if I'm rambling. As a smaller YouTuber, y'all know I'm not very familiar with talking about like products that are sent to me because it doesn't happen a lot. And I hope I also said I'm not getting paid to talk about this. They just sent it to me and they were like, could you do an inclusion? I'm like, okay. So I hope that made sense. I'm actually kind of like interested in including other products besides beauty in my monthly hits and misses, because I have other purses and other things that I would love to talk about because I'm multifaceted, or at least I like to think so. So that is what I have for this month for you all. Let me know how you feel about having me talk about sponsored products as well as having like inclusions like the bag, because I don't ever want to come off as being like just talking about like things that I get for free, because I understand that can be like disingenuous. But for right now, with like my filming schedule and my situation, talking about them in monthly favorites, kind of like things I get from Octoly, is the easiest way for me to include them. But obviously, I am always open to y'all's feedback. Please let me know. Let me know what you feel about the products I've talked about. Let me know just all kinds of whatever. And honestly, just a little bit of like a thank you, because like without y'all subscribing, without y'all watching, you know, none of this stuff would be like, I wouldn't be able to do this. So I always want to show thank you to you guys. I do have stuff for giveaway right there. I just need to get off my butt and film it and everything like that. But thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. And as always, keep it real. Mwah!